Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy New Year to everybody. This is our first meeting of the year for the Gold Prospectors Association of America Phoenix chapter, and we should be getting started here shortly. Looks like we're going to have a pretty good group. We have Kevin Hoagland is our speaker tonight. He's going to talk to us about a teaching experience, I guess, a learning experience. I believe that's what the topic is, so we'll see. Anyway, hang in there. We should be getting started here shortly. I don't know what time it is, but 7 o'clock, so we should be getting started here quickly. Anywho, Michael Smith, how are you doing tonight?
I made sure I was when you get to some
I do.
Trev, welcome to your book.
I got a robot. It does its thing. It was close.
Oh my gosh.
Took the fourth antibiotic to kill it off.
How's it going? Well, that didn't work out.
And that's going to help you. Sure.
Whoops. I don't know what I just hit. It was the wrong thing, though.
It'd be like Sammy's cat.
Yeah, but Seth has cats.
The advantages of having glasses, I can't see with them, I can't see without the damn thing.
Just set up and getting,
For me to use my bifocals, I gotta be like way like this, man. They're okay for down here, but if you're trying to read something up there, it's like easy. I can see that. I can read from here. Without my glasses, I can actually read that. Hello, Travertine.
And he's walking, doesn't even know it's there.
That's all right. We haven't got started yet, so you're good. Like I was saying, Kevin Hoagland's going to be doing a presentation tonight when we get started, so should be any moment now. Who knows?
Okay, I can't do that again. That was fun.
How many cats you got now?
Same level as I always had. -1.
That's what I thought. One died.
Two of them died.
Well, you got it.
Now I'm down to 40 now. 40.
They reproduce.
Oh, they're fixed, so if they're reproducing, then we got a problem.
Stranger things have happened.
Seth neighbor, they have feral cats, so traps and takes them down and gets them fixed. And then he doesn't mind they're in the neighborhood, so he lets it go.
So,
He's fixed them.
that should be doing 360.
Does that nose look like giant when you're up there working?
It probably does, yeah. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I'm totally disappointed in this GoPro. Yeah. I wish I had never bought it. So I'm going to buy a new one, but it's not going to be a GoPro. I can tell you that right now. Piece of shit. Sometimes it'll video something for 30 seconds and shut off. Sometimes it'll video it for 20 minutes and shut off. Sometimes it'll run as long as you leave it on. Usually like when I'm in my truck and I get out and start doing metal detecting, it runs the whole time. So I got a nice picture out the front window for hours. But when I want to do something like this, and I can edit this out, so, but I wouldn't buy another one. This is my second GoPro. The first one was a lot better than this. but it doesn't have the stabilization and all the different video modes. I'm getting this other company. It's DJI, I believe that's the name of it. And their camera's only
Yes, I
$329, $350, something like this. I paid $600 for that piece of shit.
The last meeting?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. They haven't had any news since then.
I missed out on that. Maybe I wasn't here. I
I
can't
don't even
remember.
think I got one.
Seth has a wall.
I don't think I did.
Because that wall across from
I'm
his.
pretty sure I don't. I think I will.
No, but it's good to be back.
I make my own.
They turned off. They turned off
Have a cutter?
wall, so they
No, I have a supplier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get them wholesale.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You should talk to the people when you need shoes. Make a lot of money.
I have a website.
Siri got me out of a lot of trouble.
So it's got my
Okay, cool.
It's not right yet.
No.
That's cool.
No, I respect that.
It's not necessarily. I was just going to come down.
Okay. Like, say,
Okay, so
okay, great.
another issue.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good idea.
I've been working on it for a month, and then Christmas hit, and New Year's, and so I just let it roll.
Yeah, that's cool. It sounds good.
I do.
I'm not very good at Facebook.
It's Bud, and I have a Facebook group called Better Off. I guess it's on the backside of I think we got Fountain Hills, like, I don't know, maybe stuff back there, I remember. And we got
I will say one thing about this GoPro.
say it? Bedrock. They told me, that's the cage. I'll go to the paper and get it out and tell them the picture, and I go, that's the road.
Oh hell!
That's the goat trail.
I guess I can't edit that out of that. That was right. Sorry.
Oh, that's in watching.
One lane bridge one lane bridge.
Right, no, well, you're semi.
No. The semi, their dispatchers routed him down from Roosevelt Dam
I know.
down the Apache
So
Trail
here's the semi.
because it said Arizona State Highway 88. So they said, well, it's a state highway. Well, here's this guy. Going down the 53-foot trailer behind his tractor, looking at this one-lane bridge that had a 10-ton weight limit on it.
Rod stopped because we just had gone over the bridge and he's here. And Rod, when we stopped, we turned around.
Malcolm, did you get the copy of the email
The guys
with
got
the
out.
newsletter?
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing a semi down there?
Yeah, I've never had that problem before.
It's Arizona State Trust that does the parking permit.
All right, guys. We're
Recreation.
ready to get this thing started so we can get it done. Kevin's here to talk, and we got to give him some time, you know. All right, so we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody stand. Take the vote there, Paul. All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Woo-hoo. I'll see how long this will last. My voice isn't as strong. I've been busy. All right. Let's see. We got the pledge. Whoop. Just for that. Okay. Nope. Should have put those away.
We
have any new members? No new members. I don't see anybody new.
Okay, that's done.
Ooh.
No.
Can I hit it?
Yeah, please. That's fine. I'm not over there, so I can't.
I won't be in.
It says here to introduce the GPAP officers. Well, everybody knows who I am. If you don't, well, then you're in you're in trouble. I'm the president. We have a new vice president, Mr. Don Robertson, if you please. Thank you.
Oh, there it goes.
I'm a sidekick.
Shot me.
You're the co-president?
We got Michelle King. We got Bill. Bill's also VP.
I'm the assistant to the assistant to the assistant.
Right. So we decided to do like we talked. Both. 2 vice presidents. Because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening, and who knows what's going to conspire. So, we got Lee King back there. He does our claims. And who am I missing?
Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. I got Michelle.
Wow.
And then we have John. He's our secretary.
They always forget me. I don't even
I
worry about
try
it.
not to.
John,
You forgot about the boss back there too.
I just hide out.
The one that runs the place.
Oh, Madam President. Yeah. Without her, I would not be in this position. Yeah. Well. Okay. So we're going to introduce Kevin right now, and then we'll do our stuff at the end because he has a few things he needs to talk about. And come on up, Kevin.
can you like cover one thing or two? 'Cause I really want to run to the restroom. real
No,
quick.
go ahead.
Thank you. It's not there. Yeah, wrong way.
I went one way. I don't have to go through the bar anymore.
No.
Cool. They let us have the bathroom.
What?
I got something I'd like to share with everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks. You guys remember we did 2 things on the vulture bait, one in September and one in November. We had our treasure hunt, we had our dig. Does anybody remember when we designated the gulch that we dug in November in the southeast quadrant? Lee.
Yeah, Terry Little Gold.
That's right, Terry Little's Gulch. So Terry Little has shown up to the meeting tonight, and I just want to share some good news that he shared with me. His cancer is in remission.
Yeah.
He's feeling a lot better.
It's always a good thing when one of our members has cancer and is getting through it.
Thomas is buying for everybody.
What's that?
Buying for everybody.
I didn't bring enough money. Okay. Real quick, we're doing the Flag and Gem show in Mesa this weekend. If you'd like to come out, please do. We may have extra people. Tomorrow we have Tad and me and Michelle and Bill, and Don's not going to be there. He'll be there Saturday and I think Sunday. So we have John. But the more the merrier. We can do a lot of different things.
Oh, forgot you.
I didn't forget John. John is always going to. He'll always be.
I think what the problem is I'm sitting behind these 2 camera poles and you can't see me.
I can't. Yeah, I agree. I guess I'll go over a few of these things.
I'm done.
Oh, that's fine. I'll
Fine,
get
get out of the way.
No. Only a few on my list. That was good. He's terrible. We do have January 22nd dig, and that's going to be competition dig and demo. Lee's going to do the competition part, and I'm going to be doing the demo. If you have questions about some of your equipment, please get with me. I can show you. It's going to be right out there. It's squishy.
What's it run?
So I don't know how everything is going to work out. So we're going to do what we can. As always, we'll do what we can. If it's squishy, yes.
Somebody said Morristown, it's not Morristown.
It's not Morristown.
No.
Yes, Joe.
I think Jim and I are going to go out there and reconnoiter it either Thursday, probably Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
See how, because that, like I was telling you, that camping area there, it's typically silt type sand.
Yeah.
So that could be a mud bog.
It could be, and some of the roads going in, part of the road is the wash. It could be squishy. It gets squishy when it's dry. It's hard to say. I don't know what's going to, happen. Hopefully it's not like real bad.
You're talking about scenic loop?
Scenic loop, yeah.
Okay, and when is that?
22nd January.
Okay. I can save you a lot of time. It's 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
I can run out there and see
Yeah,
what it's
well,
like.
Jim's right there in Congress too.
Okay.
Besides, we go out and
Yeah, get with me.
we're gonna go out and maybe run the metal detector and
See
same
how
time.
squishy it is? I don't want to put, and I know a lot of the board and some of the others get mad at me, but I've only had to cancel 2 events since we've been doing this. So that's a good percentage. I don't want to have to cancel anything. I love these events. And it's just, you know, it frustrates me when we have to, when Mother Nature decides to go on our parade. So, and I hate that. Me and Lee have talked about it, and he knows how I feel. And John knows what I want him to look for, so, and Kevin kind of does too. So, what do you do? Nothing. Next quarterly prizes will be a 2.3 gram specimen, a geosluice, and a metal sluice. The brand is questionable. I don't know what that is, Lee. Do you?
The what?
The metal.
The metal one, that
I don't
Tad would
see it.
know.
It's not.
Tad would know, Tad had that one.
It's in the chest here. It's in the chest.
Okay.
It's a royal.
It's
It's a mine lab.
Is it?
15. Oh, Miami.
I didn't know what brand it was, so.
A metal?
So,
Oh, the metal suit?
the sluice.
It's a royal. It's a royal.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And it has a DVD comes
I
with
need,
it.
yeah, we'll pick that
And a
up.
hat.
It does. Oh, yeah.
You
That's
take it out for the.
So we do have a few open board positions right now. Not really board positions, but just being around the board, making the name tags, merchandise, and the library. The library is not such a big deal, but it is to a point. There's a lot of information in those books. And if you're interested, just come and find me. The merchandise is not too hard. And if nobody steps up, then it'll be me and Ronnie probably doing it. Or maybe Don. I might put that on his plate. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Or Bill.
Yeah,
I have delegation powers, so I love that.
good
We'll
Bill.
talk.
You may talk. I don't think anybody's going to listen.
Nobody listens.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so Kevin, here's Kevin. Pop Kevin.
Got the puppet in there. Hello there. Hi, I'm Tad.
I wish I was that good at lightning gold.
You're his
And the head pops out.
Yeah.
God, that would scare me, wouldn't it?
You broke it already. And
Oh,
it's
no, I did.
brand new.
No, I actually did break it. I did break it, but it's the same thing that happens to all of these machines. Look, it's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. I know everybody's been asking about it. I've had a lot of people asking me about it. So, there it is.
Wow.
The Garrett Axiom. Questions? Is it cost effective? No, yeah.
It works.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I paid for it yet because I haven't really had a chance to get out and go on and pick it up.
Is it a programmable sound?
No,
No?
no, doesn't have to be.
It's a little short.
Well, sometimes you're very slow.
That's from the
I knew I was going to go
I knew you were. I knew you were.
Durf does.
Those are good. Those are really
Mine-
good. I've seen
mine did that.
videos on that. That's a really good video.
Yeah, but I did. It has the same issue that almost every pulse reduction machine has these days, and that is that the way that they put the glue on, the coil breaks off. You know, they just do it at the factory, and there is actually a reason for it because they don't want you to destroy the coil. So it really does make sense. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this secondary shaft out right now to make it even longer, but I'm going to say that I can't right now because I'm not going to mess with it. But there is the Axiom. And it
You're
is
welcome, Malcolm.
fast becoming. I don't know of anybody that's used the Axiom that hasn't fallen in love with it, me included. And on the field test, I've had the opportunity to use this. California, 3 places, Arizona, all over the place, and Alaska, when I was up in Alaska for a few days. So
How'd it like snow?
it doesn't even care about snow. It doesn't care about a lot of things. You know, and it's not Look, it's a retail price of around $4,000. And the one thing I have to remember is, when I start to do a field test, I don't compare to any other brands, which is always rough for me. So the only thing I compare this to is anything that Garrett's had in the past, which if anybody's ever swung the ATX, that's like putting Don on a stick and trying to swing him around. I mean, it's not. Into a power plug, downloadable. When I first got it, there was an update that was available for it, but I didn't do the update because I was traveling, and I didn't want to go somewhere where I could not go back and hunt the machine. So when I got back to Arizona, I went out and I hunted in 4 different places, and then came back and then did the download and went back and checked to see, what the download actually did. It was amazing what happened to the machine. At first, I was impressed right off the bat, just from some of the targets that I was fighting. And this is not a sales pitch, but everybody's been asking me about this machine because I made it very public that I had it. And Garrett's was really happy that I've had it. I guess, I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
What'd you find?
I found gold.
What's the depth on it?
No answer to that. That's the magical question, how deep will it will go. I will tell you, I have found a 4-grain piece of gold, which was, I don't know, probably that deep, and it ripped my head off.
Yeah.
Had it been double that depth, it would have been a nice signal. And then the piece that I found in Alaska, that had some pretty decent depth to it, and it was in almost completely frozen ground, and it was a really crappy day. So wow for me. I got to whine a little bit. I was shocked. It handles moisture. I'm going to go out this weekend, probably Saturday. If somebody, I'm going to go over to Vulture Bait and spend some time just working with it now that the ground is really wet, because that's where a pulse induction really gets tested, is when you start getting into really moist ground. And that ground right now is moist enough to where the reflective signal can be really, really bad, or it could just be totally ignored. So I'll find out this weekend. If anybody's interested, just let me know. Meet me out at Vulture Bait. Okay. Any questions? Any questions on this thing? Any questions about anything else?
Something to do with like for silver nuggets or copper?
I don't know. I haven't used silver nugget or copper.
I found a little nugget back when you could get to a few of the areas that they've closed off since then. But
it's a non-ferrous metal. The silver and the copper are absolutely non-ferrous, and this machine I haven't hit anything that was non-ferrous, lead, different things like that just absolutely did not give me a good signal. And I'm not the biggest fan on VDIs, the visual display. But the one thing I do like about this one is that it will show you constantly, because what I really liked about this machine right off the bat was, and I think if anybody's seen the video, I talk about the tone adjustment on this thing, and that's just absolutely amazing. But the ability, you've got a fixed ground balance, absolutely fixed. So everything you have to do, you have to press a button, pump it up and down, get it all lined back in. It holds very, very well. And then it has a slow, medium, and fast track. So the worse the ground is, the faster you track. You're going to lose depth and you're going to lose a little bit of sensitivity, but you're still going to be able to work in an area that you normally could not work. And that's for any of the pulse induction machines. That's actually for any machine that gives you an option for your tracking. And if you go back to like the Eureka Gold and the MindLab Eureka Gold and the XT8 and the XT18000, you had that slow and fast track. You run it, if you're going to run with a ground balance, an automatic ground balance, run it in slow until you can't run in slow anymore. It's like this thing. I will run in manual until I'm constantly ground balancing it and trying to keep it in, and then I'll just kick over to slow track. I'll run it in slow until I can't run it anymore. Go to medium. I've never had to put it into fast track. I've done it just to see how it was going to run out, but I've never actually had been forced to put it in fast track. Well, what's cool is on the VDI, you have a display, and one is the ground mineralization level as the detector sees it, and then right below that is the ground level mineralization as you're working it. So if you got 58, 58, you're just absolutely perfectly in sync. If you're at 54, 58, 55, not too bad, but if you're like 58, 44, or 48, or 50, or even 50, if it's 5 off.
So it's very controllable as far
Very,
as.
very controllable. Yeah, it's just press the button. Press the button. It has a real threshold on it, and has a real ability to tune in the sensitivity. You don't have a ton of, it's typical Garrett. Some companies build sensitivity modes like this. Garrett kind of builds a sensitivity mode like this, so it gives you a little bit broader range. But that works because if you get into an area where, and it really hasn't happened that much, but if you get in an area where it's just a little bit too noisy, you can play with that and get that sensitivity down a little bit or up a little bit, and then do the rest of it with your ground balance and just some of your other tuning. So it's very responsive, and it gives you a whole lot of things to do and a whole lot of ways to go. And compared to some of the VLF competition, even VLF competition, there's no weight to that machine whatsoever. Yeah.
Average battery life?
They say 16, I've gotten 22. Yeah. You can pass it around if you want.
Like a Corvette body.
Guys like a Corvette. So, well, that's passing around, and like I said, everywhere I go, that's been the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Everybody wants to know about the Axiom. So, and then the full field test will be in the next magazine.
It's got a speaker or just headphone only?
Speaker, yeah, it's got full speaker, headphone, wireless, comes with the wireless headphones, and the other, everything adapts immediately when you turn on the Garrett headphones. In the past, I've had a problem pairing those, but the moment I turned it on and went into the pairing on this, immediately paired, and I was ready to go in seconds. Plus, and for all of us that don't like to wear headphones out in the middle of the summertime, I've got some really high-end earbuds that I've been working with the company on to get a complete system. I put the earbuds in, paired up instantaneously, so no more headphones, and I can walk around with earbuds, and it just is really, really, really nice.
So it has Bluetooth on it, though.
Yeah, it's Bluetooth 5.1 or 5.0. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's yeah, and
Oh, no,
I
I
tested
can't
the
afford
lag.
another one.
So I've got a little meter where I test lag, and then I got my little setup right on the ground. And the lag on this was less than 30 seconds an inch off the center of target. I'll take that all day long. I will tell you, I've got a machine where the lag is an inch. And that's uncontrolled speeds.
You haven't used this very much, I can tell.
Dude, that's my
Scratch
second. That's
that
my
very
second
much.
coil cover. That is the second coil cover on that one. They knew better than to send it to me without a spare coil cover. But and I've got all the coils for it. I've got that coil, then I've got that coil and the double D, and then I've got the 13-inch, and I've got the 16-inch all in monos. And the 16-inch doesn't weigh much more than that coil. Wow. Yeah, it's a pretty shocking machine, and with a price point that's really, really good.
It is. It really is.
And I know that they're selling like crazy. I stopped into A&B Prospecting up in Prescott Valley and stopped in to see Tim and pick up a couple of things. And they're just, everybody's out they're doing really well with it. That's your headphone. If you want to plug in a headphone, if you break your headphones or whatever, and then the charging point.
That's probably the heaviest part of the whole thing is the battery.
Yeah. And then if if you're really worried about being out for that long, and they didn't send it to me, but there's another pack that slides on underneath the arm grip. That is another battery pack. And I think that battery pack is rated at like another 16 hours or something like that. So you could easily go out and spend a week out in the field.
I see a new toy in my future. No, I want to see how it does on the side.
I know.
I like that though, that it'll actually, if you're digging a target, then it'll be stable.
Yeah, the way it is right now, I really like it. So I just pop the coil off. And I'm laughing about this because every manufacturer of pulse induction machines over the last 10 years have had the same exact issue. Oh, looky there. Oh, looky there. I feel so lucky. So now there we go. Now I said it's really. They put a glue on there that will just come off. You know, you hit it a few times, you bump it around, and it'll just come off, and it saves breaking the connection. So when I get home, I'll sand all that off and probably just put Gorilla Glue on it and be done with it, and never look at it again. Okay. Any questions on anything? Did everybody get their magazine?
Yep.
Okay, everybody got their magazine. Great. Anything in particular you saw in the magazine that you liked? Was there any articles or any stories or anything that caught your eye?
Absolutely.
Was there?
I think so. I mean, mostly I think it's the way it's set up now. It's really good.
Layout.
is really good. And it goes in good succession. I think it's well.
I like that one about creepy.
Creepy Pete. I guess I didn't read that one.
That's the storage's life.
No, that's your luck.
Dude, I missed that one altogether.
He's talking Placer Pete.
Pardon?
Placer Pete.
Oh, Placer Pete, yeah. Hey, if anybody wants to do that one in March, sign up now because it hit the magazine, but even before it was even discussed, there was already, I believe, over 40 people that have been signed up for it. But, and that's another reason why I'm here, because what we're going to do is we're going to replicate that right here. Right here. The Placer Pete event was a big educational outing. It's really all it was geared to do. They had geology walks, so basically walking the claim, talking about different geology. We did metal detecting, we did dry washing, we did recirculating systems, we did everything. And people that were there, everybody learned something, and that's what it's about. You know, how many, do we have new people in this group? I'm not here all the time, so I see all familiar faces.
No.
Yeah, so.
Sometimes we do.
Yeah, there's, I mean,
Here's some, yeah.
he's
Not
new.
here.
Andrew's new. There's other people that have been doing it for a little while, and they haven't done anything. I get questions from a lot of different people, and I try to, because they know I heard. So, and a lot of people are funny about the way I set my machine, being flat, almost flat. But, I recommend to everybody do what you have, do what you think is right. But Andrew's new. He just started. What is it? 3 months ago? 4 months ago? You got your membership? Was it?
Oh, a while ago. Yeah. He's been gone for a little bit.
Yeah, that's where I missed the time.
Dude, I know this guy. He's just coming up on his 3-year renewal. Where have you been?
Well, he's been gone for a little while.
Yes, yeah. But, it's interesting because we have 200 some odd members, and we don't use them. Lately, it's been like this.
Yeah.
Low members.
Well, and quite frankly, that's the way it is a lot in a lot of areas. I went to the Stockton chapter that has almost as many members as this group, and generally their meetings would be 85 to 90 people, and since the middle, since everybody started coming back to meetings, it's been 35, 20, 15.
Yeah.
So it's just like we talked about this today. We had our teams, one of our teams meeting today, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of members this week, and it's been really good. Because and I asked one of them, I said, well, let me put this in my perspective, and you tell me how you feel about it. So, 20 and 21 was a lot of fear. There was a lot of stuff going on. We didn't know what was happening at all the time. And you would think that you were coming out of something, then everything went back down the toilet. And even the beginning of 2022, coming into the beginning of 22, when we had the big problem in California that we had to take Pomona and move from Pomona from February to July. So there was all of that going on. But I look at 2021 of a time of great concern for some, lockdown for others, and a huge amount of fear for an entire other group. 2022 was really kind of healing. And 23, people are ready to get out. And I've talked to so many people in the last week, and it seems like New Year's Day was it. It's like, okay, I'm going to go out. Everything's out. Everything's fine. I just got to be. I don't be stupid. I don't do this. I don't do that. But everything's fine. I'm going to get back out. And there's an air of excitement, a huge air of excitement of what's going on. And even, for us, when we did the Placer Pete, when they had the Oktoberfest, there was a lot of people that walked up to me that just flat said, this is the first time I've been out since March of 20 or April of 2020. The first time they've been out since that period of time. And they were thrilled, and people walking around with their mask on when they first got there. And then within an hour, the mask was down, and within a couple of hours, they just didn't even, tucked it in their pocket. So it's just it's time. It's time. We've healed. We've record ordered a lot of the things that were going on, and now we're going to go out and we're going to live. So, and with saying that,
Hallelujah.
because of what we did at Placer Pete and how well it was accepted and how just amazing that it went, I'm replicating that 6 different locations across the United States. And it takes the chapter and takes the chapter members. That's all it is to it. Now, Placer Pete is a little bit different area because of the way that area is set up. But here, gang, we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to set up at Jackass Flats. Have you talked to anybody about any of this at all?
No, just the board.
Okay. All right.
That's why I was hoping you'd be here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I was going to go over it if you didn't.
Okay. So, March 9th. 10th.
Was that the one?
Okay. So, March 10th is the show up day. And it's going to be at Jackass Flats. That's where we'll have everything set up. Now, this is not an outing. This is a get-together. Because the moment it turns into an outing, then we have to get all the BLM permits, and we have to do all these other things. But this is kind of casual. It's no cost, there's no charge associated to it whatsoever. But there's going to be a lot of people doing a lot of different instruction by just having their equipment set up. Now, Lee, you are doing dowsing?
Yeah.
Okay, so Lee's doing dowsing, you're working with the mountain goat, I'm doing metal detecting. Gosh, you had a full list.
Geology.
Yeah, geology. We've got all these different things.
I thought Apache Junction was doing dry washing.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple people doing multiple things, so it's not going to be like Thomas is going to be doing dry washing. It could be Thomas, it could be Mike, because Mike's going to be there with one of his puppers and these different things and all these other things that are available. But it's all about education, and it's 4 members. It's 4 GPA members. So spread the word, and the only thing they have to do is shoot me an email. I need a name. If you're going to come to this, and it's the 10th, 11th, 12th of March, I need your name, I need your member number, and I need your email address. I don't care about your phone number or anything else, because as more people start to come in, I'm creating a big mailing list, and as we have other people that are going to come in and maybe speakers or different things that they'll be doing, I'm going to get everybody on that email list and send them out and send that out to everybody. And, you know, you might be interested, and then you find out that, you know, Lee's going to do one-armed dowsing. I want to see that. I want to be there for that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you have to be, can it be a prospective GPA person that wants to sign up, or does it have to be GPAA?
Yeah, the majority of the people have to be GPAA. So if you've got a neighbor that wants to learn something, you're bringing that neighbor up to Jackass Flats, no worries. But if you're going to go out on the claim, let's just say I'm casually going to go out and go metal detecting for a while, and if anybody wants to come with me or follow me out there, and you know, when I'm not swinging a coil, I'll help you with your machine, you know, that type of thing. Then, yeah, they're your guest.
Well, the reason I asked really is because, well, we have our Bedrock Bandits page. We have like 90 members.
Yeah.
And not all of them are GPAA.
Okay.
So, you know, when we go to post those things, which I think some of us, Lee has his website, and, you know, so does Cowboy Jim. So,
Sure.
you know, it's nice that we'd be able to post these out there.
Right.
You know, to get the numbers up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, from what I've seen so far, I mean, I don't think we're going to have a problem. I do want to cap it. You know, I do want to cap it. I say 100-ish. Take that for what it is.
Because it will be.
So if we go over 100, are we going to refuse them?
There'll have to come a point where we will have to. I mean, if we think about the impact out on a claim, we really have to think about that. So if there's 150 people and I've got a 2-hour metal detecting thing that I'm going to do, and then Mike's got a 2 hours with dry washing, and Thomas is going to do 2 hours on recovery, and we suddenly realize that and then Lee's going to do dowsing sometime during that course of the day. We suddenly realize we got a couple of hundred souls out there on the claim. That's going to draw us.
So do you have a claim that you want to concentrate?
Oh, we're doing vulture bait. I'm sorry, vulture bait.
Vulture bait, yes.
Yeah.
60 acres.
Thing though, tell them what to do. We are probably going to have to do, like, we can't bring dirt down to Jackass Flat.
No, cannot.
So I think we should also put in the place Golden Dreams. It's in between.
Okay.
Because you've got Jackass Flat, Golden Dreams, and then Vulture. So we can process Golden Dreams.
Sure.
Or whatever. It's easier to set up a company there, but have a meeting place at Jackass Flats.
Right.
And camping and bullshit.
Okay, that's fine.
So.
I'm going to leave, look, I'm going to make sure that we have people there, and I'm going to make sure that it's promoted. I'm really going to throw this under chapters, because this is going to be the beginning of the new way that I want to see chapters run, and everything else that we're going to do. And, I'm always into this, and I really have been preaching this for last year, is that, guys, remember, this is your chapter. This is not his chapter. He doesn't count anymore. Well, actually, it is his chapter, but not just his chapter, but it's all of it.
It's all.
And the fact that this is a chapter that actually has committees that do things like T-shirts, which was pretty shocking to me.
Cat. Must you be so rude?
Yes, he must.
I apologize for him.
I was raised by animals.
I just wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
You've known me for over 40 decades.
That's right.
40 decades?
400 years. Seems like it. About 4,000 years. Weren't you one of those,
I got stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
You're a pharaoh.
Oh. So, look, we're going to have fun. But most importantly, we're going to help educate people. Because I'll tell you what, and I wrote about this, if you haven't read that article in the back of the magazine called Grit, which is generally the Ask Kevin, it's about failure. It's about not failing. And I have so many people that I talk to on a weekly basis. They're doing some things right, but they don't know the whole thing. But the most important thing is that they go out, they do this, and they're not succeeding. They don't understand why. They get a little bit of help here, or they get a little bit of help there. Or, God forbid, now they sit there and they watch 300 different people on YouTube on the same subject. Pick somebody and stick with it until you get done with that. But, until that, look at all these these different things. But I have talked to so many people. I would say in the last 8 months that I've really drilling this down, they've lost their self-value. They don't think that they can do this. They've lost it. They've lost their self-value. They've lost their self-worth as far as prospecting is concerned. A lot of people I know, they got into it thinking that they're going to walk around with their metal detector and the nuggets are going to jump in their pocket right out on the ground. I've seen it. It's okay. I get it. But there are our job, every one of you that's in here, that's been in here, that's ever put a pan in the water, dug dirt out of the ground, and you have some semblance of knowing what you're doing, it's all of ours job to help that guy standing out there that doesn't know what he's doing. You've been in here, what, 3 months? 6 months?
8 years.
Okay, a year. He's been in here a year. How comfortable are you with everything? Okay, so you're that guy that everybody should be like, what can I do to help you? Or you should be reaching out and not feel bad about saying, hey, I really want to look at a piece of equipment, but I'm not sure exactly how it really works. Can you help me? And that's where people need to get. And we want them, and that's what this whole outing, these things are about, is getting people to go, getting people to ask that question. Can you help me? Of course we can. And in the long run, it's really amazing because I learn a lot from people just coming in. I've had a lot of people that I've talked to that were brand new to prospecting, that by the end of the day, I've learned something. And most of the time, I've learned about one of my own faults of thinking that, you know what, you should know this. Hey, here, go use this machine. I forget that maybe you've never had a metal detector in your hand. Or maybe you don't know you don't know these things. And I think all of us that have been doing this for years and years, guys, I'm 5 decades into this. I've been doing it for over 50 years. I am the first one to admit that sometimes I forget that there's other people that are not at that level until I start hanging out around Tad, and then I realize that,
But I dug up a nugget by doing that.
Yeah, you did.
Kevin, I will say one thing that I really do enjoy, and I think it's one of the best things you do, is boots on the ground.
The video series?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna run out of stuff because there's only so many of those I can do. But yeah,
But when
you guys like so you do like those?
Yeah.
When you show them where to actual look, and I'll be sitting there going, well, I'd be going up there, and you go, well, you see the slope coming down here and how the water moves, and it's true. A lot of people don't know to look for that.
Yeah.
Got to read the ground. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. And have you watched the newest one?
Yeah.
Okay. If you've seen the one that I just put up, that is an amazing spot. That if you watch if you made it through to the end of it, and then you watch the bonus footage behind it, there's about a 25 second clip of where 2 guys came in and they saw this little stream, this little tiny runner of black sand. So they immediately went to the bedrock and they started digging. I mean, they dug there in one of those photos, one of the screen grabs. They dug all the way down on a bedrock shelf until it hit the bottom, and and there was nowhere else to go. I mean, they're on absolute bedrock, and they found absolutely nothing. But from that spot, if I do this, and, okay, on that spot, and if I do this and walk over to Tom, that's the freaking bench that I was on, where I found the gold. It's that close away. It's that close to it. Didn't use their eyes. They saw bedrock and went, "Oh, bedrock!" That hurts. Okay. So this outing, this get together is you're gonna have to. They're not running live, are you?
Sure.
Oh yeah. Crap, are you really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just red flagged the BLM of everything we're gonna be doing.
They don't watch it.
Recorded.
They don't watch it.
Yeah, actually they do.
Yeah, people do watch it.
people
No, they
watch
do.
it.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and I didn't know we were running live, but hey, everybody.
I watch it.
I
when
didn't
I'm
know
down here,
we had
so.
any members of our group that were BLM. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's the only way to be able to see it.
Yeah. No, it's look. What we're doing is, if this works and it really and we have this get together that's on Jackass Flats, and then we just kind of all spread out and we go out to different places on the claims. Everything's great. I mean, I'm not here to.
Yeah.
None of us are here to mother you or just say, okay, you're in this class, so you guys come over here. It's none of that. You know, if I'm going to go run a detector, I'm going to go run the detector. If you're over there and I can help you, that's great. But if it works out and it really does what, let's say, if we really do replicate what happened at Placer Peak, then believe me, we will be getting the permitting, we will be getting everything, and I would like to see it in Arizona as a twice-a-year event. This time of the year, or March, April, and then October, November. Just as long as not towards the end of October, because nothing can mess with the Placer Peak Oktoberfest.
Well, if we continue to do it, then we'll do it whenever, if it's successful.
No, you guys are all going to be at Placer Peak at one time or another. I can see the mass exodus coming over there. Same as a lot of those guys want to come over here.
No, I agree.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, surprisingly, I know a lot of the desert prospectors in California that work around the Ramsburg area and all of that area through there, and they come to Arizona and go, huh? This is different. This is completely different because it is. It's desert prospecting, but it's a different type of desert. Completely different type of desert. You get out on Goler, and you're out there dry washing in Goler, and you look at the material that they're running out there, and you just scratch your head going, how are you guys getting gold? And then they come over here and they see some of the stuff that we're working in some of the areas that they're working, they're like, there's no gold like that where we work. If you get in that material, there's no gold there. So it's really, I almost expect in the long run for it to be almost just a little round robin where people are following us and going different places. But again, let's have fun, but most importantly, let's educate. Let's help everybody. So those of you that have signed up to be the mentors and different things like that, thank you. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. Yeah, you got 5 or 6, and then Dell sent me over, I think 4 or 5, and
It's gonna be big, guys. And again, if you guys have knowledge, if you want to spread the knowledge, jump in.
yeah.
You know, that's what it's all about. I just showed John something, and it's something that has always been part of what I preach, a volunteer committee. So we'll be talking about that, and basically it's members training members. If we don't do it as a team, then we fail. So that's how I feel. And I don't have to fail at anything. So you can ask my wife, where she knows when I do something, it's full blown or nothing. So.
Rodney, do you remember what and I'm not going to hold you to this because it's been a couple of years since you've heard it, but do you remember the 3 eggs of the buzzard for what a state director does? Look, sitting around the campfire back in the 80s at Ibar, and George was sitting there talking, and then we weren't even state directors back then. there was no such thing as state directors. We were just a bunch of members that we were sitting around and we were talking, and George looks at all of us and goes, you guys are the people that's going to do three things. You're going to be the ones that help, and you're going to do three things for our membership, for all of us. And it's real simple. You're going to make sure that we always have somewhere to go prospect. You're going to make sure that we always have a way to communicate, or George didn't use words like communicate, get the word out to the folks, to the members. And then the last thing, he said, this is the most important. And the other two could be really, really good, but this one has to be done. Because it's what grows, and it's what instills us, and it's what keeps this entire industry alive. This whole thing is that it's members helping members become better prospectors. That's it. Members helping members become better prospectors, and that's exactly how George said it. He just kind of leaned back a little bit. Yep. Your job, your members, you help other members become better prospectors. I've tried to live by that since he said that. I tried to do my very best to live that. Now, there was a time that I was away from this organization completely. Never let my membership drop, but I just wasn't around. I was off doing other things. But I've also taken that and I put that into a lot of other things that I do. I want to help you. I want to help you become better. I want you to help me become better. And that's what we do with all of our members. That's what we do with all of our family. Because everybody in this organization is a part of this family. That's it. That's all there is to it. All right. Any questions for me? I've talked enough. Yes, sir.
What's the future of the gold shows?
Nothing for 2023. We're not taking anything off the table. That's the 800-pound gorilla. That's the 1,200-pound gorilla. Yeah. All right. Gold shows. Look, we made a statement in 2022. We did gold shows. We did 6 gold shows. As far as we're concerned, they were a success because we did them. It cost us a huge amount of money, which is fine. I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's money I would have liked to spend on claims and a few other things, but, it cost us a huge amount of money. And then with still having to deal and on a daily basis, deal with county and state regulations, we never knew what was going to happen. But as the year started to come out, when we went back east, I went to every gold show. I did the planning meetings everywhere. If you don't know, I took a really fast trip. I flew from here to Washington. I came back from Washington from one day. Then I was in Ohio, North Carolina. Where else was I? Somewhere else. California, North Carolina, Ohio. Alabama? No, not Alabama. No, North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina, Ohio, somewhere in Washington. 2 places in Washington and 1 place in Oregon, where I met with members, and everybody was excited. And then things started getting a little weird, as we know, towards the middle of the year. Gas prices started doing this and started doing that. And I said this, being at every gold show, I got to see how badly that was hurting people. I more so than anybody else in our company, I'm the one that had to deal with volunteers calling me in tears because they couldn't make it to the gold show. They couldn't afford it. When we got into North Carolina, gas was like $3.20 a gallon. When I got there on Wednesday, on Friday, gas went up to $3.80 a gallon. That jump from $3.20 to $3.80 is like going to $9 a gallon gas in California. It stopped people. And I had a member that was a volunteer call me in tears, telling me that she couldn't come. She just could not be there and do the first gold show. As far as I can remember, I've always seen her at a gold show. It's just one of those people that's a staple and sorely missed. But I get it. And we had the vendors. Oh my God, I feel so sorry for the vendors. Out of the entire year last year, we only had 4 vendors that actually made the entire trip that went to all 6 shows. That's unheard of. I mean, we had Debbie, we had Dave from Gold Bay, we had Mike, Pung, and we had Cash. That was it. Those are the only four that went to all 4 shows, or all 6 shows. A lot of the folks that went to big shows, that have always gone to shows, couldn't. They just couldn't make it work because of cost and cost of it. And if you look at the cost of raw goods, you know, you've got a guy. Royal is not an example of it because Robert and Pat both. I mean, those guys know how to buy metal, and they buy metal well in advance and all that other stuff. But you know what? I'll use this one. The Wilson brothers. We all love the Wilson brothers. They, you know, that little hand crank trommel that they came out with that worked great, and they were the first one to the market with it. When all of this hit, they could not build another trommel at all. To buy the metal would have cost them the retail of what their trommel was. There's just no way to do it. So it literally put them at, you know, are they gonna come back? Who knows? But when I talked to Steven, he was like, I'm back to cutting hair. You know, I'm cutting hair, and Preston's off doing, you know, he's off doing stuff and so on like that. We just can't, you know, we can't afford to replenish what we don't have anymore. So, you know, the hurtful things, a lot of things like that. So, you know, what's the future look like? Don't know. Do I want to see gold ships come back? Oh, absolutely. But in the meantime, with what we're doing, we're helping chapters do their own things, and they're hooking up with some of the vendors. Excuse me. We're putting chapters and vendors together. And we're, a lot of that comes in as like these big rock and gym shows. A lot of rock and gym shows would love to have the prospecting side in. They just haven't done it. And like the Wickenburg rock and gym show that I went to, not this year or not November, but the year before, I walked in and I'm walking around and people are walking up to me and go, wow, is there any gold prospecting stuff in here? Because they recognized me and they were looking for gold prospecting stuff. It's like, no. And I went to like 9 shows in 2021 and 2022, and it was pretty much the same thing. So now we've got vendors, we've got chapters that are hooking up with these rock and gym shows, big ones, and we've got vendors that are coming into those shows. So we're trying to put everybody together and make it work for them. And it's working out so far pretty good.
That's what we've been doing, Flag and Gem. I mean, when I took over 4 years ago, they've been doing it. I think, what was it, Lee, 2 or 3 years? 2 years before?
No, I think it was only 1 year.
What?
Was it only 1 year?
Before Thomas came on.
No, we did Rob was the one that started the Flag and Gem.
So it's probably a
Yeah,
year.
so I think
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
I think it was 1 year.
And it's been successful. That's why we always, encourage everybody to come out as much as possible. You get to talk to people, you get to, especially kids, and the kids are what is going to keep mining alive and push for new chapters in mining itself, because it's changing.
Yeah.
Mining is going to the computer. Everything communicational, everything like that is based on millennial thinking in that sense. So we have to teach them how to be prospectors so that we can pass on the knowledge. But that's what we do. We've done the Flag and Gem. And it's been fun. You all should come out. If you guys don't come out, there's so much out there.
Well, that show that's in Buckeye that West Valley's been doing for years.
Yeah,
Hills are rocking.
Yeah. See,
And I'm going to try to catch the next one. I'm actually going to try and join Flag and Gem and also the Apache Junction Gemology Society. Because I've been there. There was nothing running, right?
No.
We didn't see anything this last year. And that was just recent. So I'm going to be approaching them so that we can just continue the buy.
yeah.
Because they're interested, and it's, especially Apache Junction, yeah, and Mesa.
Yeah.
That whole area was, my grandfather was mining for a long time. I heard so much stuff from my dad.
Yeah.
Because, he grew up here. So,
Also, recently, Bill suggested us, he belongs to a coin club.
Yep.
We're gonna do that on the month that we don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
It's once a month, Russ will be out there and represent us.
Yep. There's so many opportunities, and those opportunities turn into money, and I don't want to sound like, look, you guys have to have an influx to be able to survive, but if you're doing a rock and gym show, and you've got your, how many of you have been a volunteer at Gold Show? How many of you in here? All of you, every last one of you. Wouldn't it be nice just to be at a rock and gym show where at 1 o'clock you guys walk in and you got 40 feet of booth and you throw all your stuff down and get everything ready and turn around and walk off? And then Sunday when the show's over, you just pick up all your stuff, they put it in the truck and walk off?
Yeah.
Not pulling down pipe and drape and working, working till 8 o'clock at night while we load the
That's our
truck.
favorite part.
Yeah.
Your favorite part, Michelle?
Yeah, I've heard that one before, right as they were walking out, about 5:05.
Everybody out the door.
There are huge amounts of opportunity out there, and everybody I've talked to, when I've talked to them, is like, well, can my chapters hold raffles? Well, of course we do, or of course they can. We encourage it. And then there's some stuff going on back east where we're working on some really, really massive shows, which I think are going to really help the prospecting industry. So, all right, I think I've talked enough. Cool. Is there anything else? Any other questions?
I just have a suggestion for Thomas.
Yeah.
So since all three chapters are gonna do this together, we need to have a meeting together.
No, I totally agree. We'll be doing that soon.
Organize us.
Yeah. With all the volunteers that are going to be, I think we need to talk to everybody.
I agree.
Why?
This one is, you've been there, the Flag and Gym in Mesa. Oh, okay. So if you want to come over and help, by all means. It's 9 to 5, all 3 days. So, any other questions for Kevin, guys?
What do we do if we want to go to this gathering? We need to
Contact him.
Contact me.
email you.
Yep.
At,
I'm sorry. Open up the magazine.
oh,
Yeah, it's
Not everybody has a magazine.
KHOAGLAND at goldprospectors, plural.org. Yeah, so just email me. Yeah, just email me. And all I need is, if you're going to be there, I need your name, your member number, and your email. So as we have other things coming on, I'll put you guys on an email list, and then we'll just get that out to you, and then so on like that. And if somebody says, if you decide that you can't go, and if we cap this at something, and somebody decides that they can't go, please let us know, because that'll take somebody off the will call and drop them in, put that person in.
So you're saying that people just can't show up this day yet?
No.
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
I just want something for everybody then, so that,
Well, that's. I'm not gonna say that. Anything else, gang?
You gonna do more seasons of the Hunt for Aztec Treasure?
Unknown. I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna say no, because there's a whole lot of other stuff that's going on. Gold Trails is revived. I'm gonna start doing Gold Trails again. I'm gonna completely different format. Because Gold Trails, as I get out there from now on, is not about me going out and hunting and going out with a manufacturer doing this and doing that. It's about me going out with my buddy here and going prospecting. That's what it's about. And it's going to be all centered around GPA members and where we're going, what we're doing, and different things like that.
I don't have email.
Well, I know how to get a hold of that. All right, I'm walking out of here so you can finish your meeting.
Okay.
I'm not leaving, I'm just walking out.
Well, if you do, then I'll have to accommodate you. I feel like.
I already found a
Put it down. All right.
That makes me nervous. Watch out, the phone will fall.
Yeah. The head is I'll hit you on the head. All right.
Hey, I got some glue from that'll hold that on permanently.
Yeah, I just don't want to break it. Don't break it. All right, so we're going to go forward. I talked about open board position, blah, blah, blah. So we'll have Don talk and Michelle, and then we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and do the rest, and have Sam go forward from it. Go ahead. It's all you. No, I should go forward.
That was going to be pretty.
We have gold. That's what I have. We have gold.
Right, so part of the responsibility of taking over from Tad was to do an inventory of all of our gold.
What's missing?
Nothing's missing. In fact,
What's missing?
No,
Hey,
just the
good one.
400 pounds of gold.
all right, so I'm going to read you off what I inventory here. I have 20 nuggets on hand. There are a total of 17.620 grams. I have one specimen, I'm not counting this nugget, just a specimen, at 2.3 grams. I have a total of fine gold in vials of 20, 30, and 50 mesh that comes up to 25.499 grams. And then on hand in the pay dirt bags, I have it broken out. I have 10 .170s. I have 12 bags of .30. I have 12 bags of half gram and 4 grams of 1 gram pay dirt bags on hand. So our total nugget weight is 17.62, our specimen of 2.3, fines at 40.799. We don't have any coins or any bullion on hand, but our gold weight as of the start of January is 60.719 grams. And after talking with the board, meeting this week, we're looking to divest ourselves of 7.343 grams for the month. So that's going to go out in nuggets that we posted up over there. I've written them down by white tickets, yellow tickets, quarterly tickets, and what we're given to do our Mesa gem show. So, but I've got a statement that we'll put up. We'll put it up in probably electronic format. It's just readable. It's just paragraphs. It has all this information. I'm not going to beat you up with this kind of stuff here.
It's in the newsletter. It's in the newsletter too.
Okay. Cool. If you guys, if you notice, we didn't hand out newsletters. If you're not on Facebook or you haven't heard or whatever, the reason is because of the cost. Being that we don't have as much money going to be coming in, one of the costs is paper and ink. So, and I hate the thought of doing that because some people rely on that. But here's the deal: if you're not part of Facebook and you have an email, give it to us. We will send you, electronic copy. If you want a hard copy, we're just asking for $20 for a full year. Okay, and we'll send you a hard copy of the newsletter by mail. As long as we'll work that out. But it's just an expense that is too high at this point. And it's been kind of culminating and growing within having to keep the printers up, the ink and the paper and this and that. It's just not. It's too much. So if you want a carbon or electronic copy, Mr. Pavkovich, John, will write your email down and he will send it to you, or he can send it to you digitally, or you can get it by Facebook. Okay? If some of you people are not on the Facebook page, please get there. We post a lot of stuff there. Almost everything we do is on Facebook. It is, and I hate Facebook too, but I'm able to see family and all this other stuff, and for the group. So it's a good venue. Don't just scroll through the rest of the crap that gets on there. That's what I do. Huh? Yeah, Facebook is a but it's stop it. That's bullshit. Okay, so moving on. Michelle, what do you got?
Actually, I missed John.
I haven't missed John yet.
We all want to go to that outing.
Yeah. You need to go.
No, I'm just saying. The
club knows the members. Members want to go. They can sign a list.
We still have to send that.
Just send it to them.
Yeah, everything has to be sent to you. Yeah, we can do it either way. We can have a sign-up form. If you're interested in going to that big event, which I hope you all are, because there's a lot of information going to be shared.
I just think they should do it themselves only because I know from my own perspective that if they take the responsibility to do it,
Yeah.
they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But like with me collecting the money from the states and everything,
Yeah.
they don't always show up or whatever.
That's true.
So you're better off to have them just go to Kevin.
Well, no, I agree. We can still have a sign-up form, and we can, if you guys are interested, you can send me the information, I'll send it to Kevin. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you do it as a sign-up form, like here tonight, if whoever wants, give us a blank sheet of paper, put it on there, make sure your member's number on there. And then that way, yeah, Thomas sends me something, if you're on the mailing list, boom, it's done. You don't have to worry about it.
And if you're not gonna go, after you do sign up, like Kevin said,
Then you need something.
we need to make sure that we get it to Kevin so that somebody else can be put on the list. I can't hear you, what? Thank you.
Wow, nice.
Yes. Okay, I did not forget John. Okay. But what I'm doing is skipping around. John, what do you have?
I don't have anything. No,
Dang.
just kidding. Yeah, as far as newsletter goes, I do that like the day before, or the day before that, 2 days before I start working on it because I'm slow and I'm not really good at it, so it takes me a while. But there is a section in there, so if you have some equipment that you no longer use, I don't care if it's a pickup truck to go out and haul your stuff with, or a trailer, or a camper, camping equipment, mining equipment, we'll put it up there on the newsletter. It'll be on the Facebook page. I had a couple of submissions for this month. There was a kind of like an antique dry washer, and Travertine has a
Wet system.
yeah, some kind of sluice, Royal Sluice, Teen or Royal, one or two, I don't remember. But yeah, use that. Just send me the stuff. You can do it right there on Messenger. My email address, I put it in there all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not shy, and I don't worry about getting spam because I love having a confrontation on the telephone.
Well, John is very blunt, so if you
Yeah.
say something, he'll say it back. If you, you know.
It makes my day to have somebody call me up and try to sell me something or buy my house. I have such a fun time with them. I really have nothing else better to do all day long than totally troll people, you know.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. So anyway, yeah, so the newsletter. So I had one person did send me their email address, and he was on here a little bit ago, Mr. Thomas, Malcolm Thomas.
Yeah.
And I made sure his went out to him, and he said he did get it, so it worked.
Good. Good.
But other
So
than
that's a great, testament. Malcolm Thomas is an old member. Been around forever. Since I first started, he did the same thing Susie did. He did the name badges, and he was board member 1 or 2 or whatever it was. That weirdo crap that they did, I don't agree with. But it's a good thing because if he hadn't gotten it, he would have been calling me or John saying, "Where is it? You guys are slacking," because he's an old timer, and that's a good testament to it working. So please understand, if you want something you want any kind of information, you want the bank report, write to us and we'll send it to you. We'll figure out how to get it to you. We're as transparent as they get.
Every meeting, it's always with me.
yeah, if you're on Facebook, you have access to Messenger. Those files can be dropped in there. They'll,
Just like that.
yeah,
Easy peasy.
you ask for it. If I get the message, I'll have it back to you probably before you finish typing.
Yep, it'll be John that'll send it. John is our secretary, and he is very good at what he does. If I ask him to do it, he'll do it, or any of us. So he's a good person to listen to, or to get information from. Are you done?
Do I have to be?
I'm asking.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Thank you. Go ahead, Michelle.
Okay, I'm gonna do the treasurer's report. This is for December. So, previous accounts we had is we have $350 in, cash boxes. We had $3,385.18 in checkings. And this is from our board meeting. These numbers came from the board meeting. And $4,147.63, which equals $7,882.81. In December, we sold $931 in raffle tickets and drawing tickets. I'm sorry. We sold $30 in gold bags. We did, so those two went into the checking account, which was $961.31. No.
That sounds better. Something like that.
$961, I'm sorry. And then in the savings, we put the $610 we collected at the Christmas party for the red buckets, which, just so you know, we brought in almost about $2,000 for that red bucket, which we put into savings because that helped us pay for our steaks. The difference, and you'll see in a minute. So we collected $720 for the steaks. The steaks cost $1,200, right? $1,125.
11, 12, yeah.
Yeah, $1,125 for the steaks.
Yeah.
So that bucket helped us to bring the total up. So our payouts was the storage is $173.90. We always take $100 out of our checking and put it in our savings for emergencies. We did not have a monthly meeting, so we didn't pay anything last board meeting last month, and we did not have a meeting here, so we didn't pay anything. There was no newsletter expenses, and we did purchase $1,877.55 in gold. As of 1/3/2023, our cash box is at $350. Our checking is $3,285.18, and our savings is $4,247.63, which brings us to the same total as I repeated earlier, $7,882.81. The difference from the board meeting to here was they took the $100 from the money that we always take out of checking and put in savings for a rainy day is the only difference. So if you have any questions, I always have the statements with me every month, and if I can't print them, I ask one of the board members to print them for me, and they have them here. So, any questions?
That is red.
All good? Good. On that part? Okay. So what we're going to do is take a few minutes, have a cigarette, do whatever, talk around, buy some gold tickets, and then we'll come back and we'll finish it up. We got a few things that we got to go over. And
Hey, Jack Tucker, Michael
take
Morrison.
Minutes, guys.
We're going on a break, so I may be back, I may not be back. I don't know. If we're doing the drawings, I'm not going to waste the airtime because y'all can't participate anyway. So if you want to win a nugget or gold bag or door prize or whatever else we got going on here on any given chapter evening, you need to be here. It's a really easy place to get to. It's 804 East Purdue Avenue in Phoenix, Arizona. It's between Cave Creek Road and 7th Street off of Mountain View, so pretty easy.
I need to fix that 100 paper.
Okay.
There's only one person pays for the newsletter. Still send it?
Yeah, sure.
I don't have an
You
email.
dropped your tickets. Drop tickets.
You're not on Facebook?
Drop tickets.
I'll collect them for you though.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it for right now. I mean, if I start getting a whole bunch of people that want to email them, we'll discuss what we need to do. Is it RRI or why?
The flow factor.
Yeah. It's like,
Which address?
you can dry hole.
My address, 6333.
I'm sorry, what?
6333 East Boston Street. Mesa.
Oh yeah. You know how I ever got
It's up to a bar.
with my whole cap.
Boston Street.
Cool, gotcha. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be able to go out this month yet. And then the but I'm starting to feel a lot better. I'm wanting to go out.